Hello and welcome to Canutillo Combos, the official Canutillo ISD podcast. I'm Gustavo Reveles, the district's communication director. We have with us, of course, always Laura at the controls.
Laura.
And our less and less fearful leader.
Less and less?
Yeah, I think you're kind of coming to...
More and more.
Nah.
Election's coming up.
I know, but like it is what it is.
Election.
I've decided that as far as the presidential election, I am disconnecting. I'm done. I don't want to know anything about it anymore until Tuesday. That's it for me. I just can't anymore. So
what? You know, when you use CNN, the news.
yes,
It's just.
it is. I mean, it really this year was especially bad. It's just, I just can't anymore. In every podcast I listen to is reference to that. I'm just like, I can't do it anymore. But of course, it's important to go out and vote. Tuesday's election day, last day to vote. Early vote is Friday when this drops. So if you listen to it on Friday before 7 p.m., you can still go early vote. If not, you'll wait until Tuesday.
Speaking of voting, what about you?
I would rather not talk about it
What
in this
about
podcast.
Oh, we can't talk about you
No,
as
let's not.
a candidate?
Let's
Why?
not. Because it's partisan, then we have to.
Oh, I'm just saying about partisan. I'm not saying to vote for you or don't vote for you. I'm just asking what are your sentiments?
I'm specifically really doing separating my work and my campaign.
Yeah, you've been really good at that.
Yes,
I know
yes.
when they ask you for an interview,
I always do it after hours or my
between
lunchtime.
8 and 5.
Yeah. So I don't, I want to make sure we follow all rules and procedures because I know there's scrutiny out there and
No. Give you another letter?
yeah.
Can we talk about that letter?
Sure, we can talk
What's
about
that
that.
letter that lady gave you
Yeah.
after a board meeting
Yeah, it was
about your
my lifestyle.
your lifestyle? Yeah, your lifestyle.
There's a lot of entitlement that certain people have to come and talk to you and approach you about your personal life. When you work in a school district, right? When you have a public job and a public sort of
Is it entitlement or is it just
of course it is.
or is it just judgment and hate?
Well, it's both.
All of them.
It's
Right.
both, but
Like, this is the first time she said these guys, all of them. You
But-
judge, you hate, you're entitled.
But the entitlement comes from thinking that they have the right to come and tell you what they think about your lifestyle and that they think that it's okay to do so.
But it seems like our society is getting more like judgmental. In a way
yeah.
that they think they can go up to somebody they don't even know, have no idea, and just start talking, and you're wrong because of your lifestyle, and
it's
you're-
demonic. And
You're
it's,
demonic. You're going downstairs versus
Yeah.
upstairs, and as you're and then they use God, right? They say God. Can we say God in there?
Yes, of
God.
course, yes.
They use God as a vehicle for their prejudices.
They use
for their-
love, right? They use love as the key word. That they're doing this out of love, but it's fueled by judgment, and it's fueled by, in my opinion, hate, right? And it's anything but love. I call it entitlement because I think that they feel empowered by political, religious, or personal beliefs to come up to someone who is doing their job, is going about the business, serving the community, serving kids, or whoever it is, and they feel like that allows them to approach them and really attack someone, because that's really what it is.
Well, it's harassment.
and harass someone.
It's a harassment.
And while I can tell you honestly that things like that don't bother me, because people like that don't impact my life in whatsoever.
And I think that's what's scary is that some of those people are, that person who gave you that letter is connected to people that are ready for office. They're ready for our school board. And I know you don't want to get into that or whatever. Nor do I care if they win or not.
Yeah.
But it's just scary that, because that sentiment, these are the ones that are going to go into our libraries and start pulling out books You can't read this book, and they're going to start me as a parent, you know.
It's impeding your right as a parent to have your kid have access to whatever you feel is appropriate for your child.
That's me. That's my raising. Who are you to tell me that this book is not good for my child?
Yeah.
I don't go into your house. Don't come into my house. Don't, you know, that's the kind of society.
Yeah,
And that's what's scary, that this person actually thought this process out, wrote a letter consciously and not even subconscious, hyper conscious. I don't know what I'm talking about. but just said, here, your lifestyle is wrong, and I'm here to help
save you.
To save you.
and you know, just on a personal note, what I'd like to say, I think it's inappropriate for someone to assume things and assume that, for example, my relationship with God is less than theirs. You know, that my life is not as fulfilling or as, you know, exciting as theirs. So again, this assumption and the entitlement is what's bothersome for me. And while I'm not impacted by these people, I'm not, you know, like
But you're not. But the next person they do that to,
and that's precisely why I felt it was important for me to say something, because while I'm not impacted and I can brush it off because I've experienced people coming to me and yelling at me because of the jobs that I've had, I know that this is happening in our school district, and other people, other employees may not have the same type of thick skin that I have.
well, is it thick or just security? You're secure of who you are, and you're not here to what's the word? To take stuff, right?
Right. Like, well, I'm not, you know, the word acceptance is thrown around a lot when we talk about this subject, and I'm not looking for acceptance.
Well, and at some point, it's not even, you know, when they come out and you got customer service, right? Mm-hmm. You're the parent. It's like, at some point, it's like, dude, no, I don't have to take that.
Yeah.
We don't have to take your yelling, your name calling, you know, your judgment. I don't have to take that.
Well, and it's important to know that we will always provide customer service, but that does not mean that you have the right to come and attack us. You don't have the right to yell at us just because we are, you know, I get told this all the time. I pay your salary. Well, guess what? I live in this district. I also pay the salary.
I pay my own salary.
Yeah, so like yes, we do have to be accountable to the public, but it does not give you the right to mistreat people in our district.
Well, not only that, it's we're modeling for kids.
Yeah.
And what's sad is some of these community members have kids, and it's like, is that what you do at home?
Yeah.
You're teaching your kid to judge. You're teaching your kid to hate. You're teaching your kid to you know, people are lesser than you. Like you said, that your relationship with God is less because of your lifestyle, and God's gonna, you know, nope, you're in this line. Yeah. You're in that line. You know.
And you know, it is what it is. But you know, I hope that at least that brought some sort of awareness, so that people second guess their approach if they're thinking about doing something like that. You know, and it may come from love on their behalf, but it's not received as such.
Well, it comes from love. You know, like I always tell people, love and forgive.
Yeah.
You know, I forgive you that you did that, and I love you. You know, it's just don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't do it to you.
Yeah.
I don't go to your church and say you're whatever. You're wrong, and because you're not Catholic, and you know, I mean, to me, Catholicism is the only church there is.
Right.
Now, all these other, I don't. You know what?
People have the right to their.
Love you, pay your taxes, do good.
Yeah.
Be a good human being. Speaking of good, we had some good things happen.
We did. Let's shift to some positive things that are happening in our school district. And we had this week was bond heavy for us. And we had, first of all, let's celebrate the groundbreaking of the first project that we are really taking on as the bond. It's the installation of lighting system at the softball and baseball fields at Canutillo High School. We had a great ceremony.
We did.
On Wednesday. We had softball players, baseball players from both the high school and the middle
We
school.
had Ivan Melendez.
We had Ivan Melendez, who was gonna
Do you know what? I challenged him. I said, Ivan, let me pitch to you, see if you can hit off me. And he said no.
He said no because he didn't want to
He
embarrass
said
you
no.
in front of
I
him.
said, Ivan, let's go. Let's go. Let's see.
Now it's the Hispanic Titanic came in. Of course, he is the son of
Julie Melendez.
Julie Melendez, who is former Canutillo Elementary principal and current director of compliance
She's
here.
a rock star.
That's a Canutillo family through and through, and we were so happy to have him there. The kids were super excited to see him. His younger brother, is the captain of the baseball team here in Canutillo.
Yeah.
So it was a big Melendez day for us here in the
good.
groundbreaking. Doug, we had a great ceremony. I think it's gonna be. We got a glimpse of what's to come with all our ceremonies, the things that are celebrations that we're going to have regarding the bond. These are celebrations. We're going to have a groundbreaking and a ribbon cutting when every project is completed, and we can't wait to showcase the excitement that we have to get this bond done.
Oh, those kids were excited.
All those, what's more
Parents.
excited? The baseball and softball moms, man, they were super excited. During the parade, they built floats and they had their own lights. They put up their own
Field of
lights there,
Dreams.
Field of Dreams. So this is so cool to see for me at least, to see that excitement and
Well, I had a bunch of parents yesterday come up to me and say they really loved community pep rally.
yes.
Yes.
The fireworks, and they're just, you know what, I just want to say thank you. That was a great idea. That was so, what's so crazy is they thank me thinking I really thought of that. And I did. No, not really.
No,
But
that
you
was the high school.
That was the high school administration.
Ms.
with Miss
Marufo.
Marufo and her team.
When we were told that we
Mr.
could,
Beck.
yeah, Mr. Beck, our brand new student. When they were told we couldn't have the bonfire because of fire rules and all this stuff that's happening, they quickly shifted and make this happen. And it really, I know that students and alumni were apprehensive and even saying like, man, you're breaking with tradition. But everyone who was there was like, man, this was awesome. This was so cool. Attendance was higher than any bonfire I've ever been to. The kids stayed out after, they were dancing on the field. They were laughing. Families came together. It was truly a community event. Truly a community event.
My 2018, 2020, my two kids did the bonfire.
Yeah.
And I never understood it. Running around, smoke, and
Yeah.
it gets too hot.
It gets hot.
And then we have fights at night. You got kids,
Yeah.
because not all kids can go in. It's just seniors.
Yeah.
And everybody's just there on.
And it really is, it wasn't a community event.
No.
It wasn't. And it was small, like even, only a handful of kids were there. This was the community event. This was a chance for the alumni, for parents to come. I saw tons of parents there.
Parents with their little babies.
With their babies. So I'm hoping that a new tradition is emerging. We want to celebrate our past, but we also want to move forward,
Well, that's why you look and move forward. We had those first of many charrettes
Yes.
at the new build stat from CMS, AMS.
So let's explain what a charrette is.
What's a charrette?
A charrette is a design, a building design, hands-on process. So what we do is we have four major projects in this bond, right? The reconstruction and relocation of Davenport, Canutillo Middle, and Alderete Middle, as well as the construction of brick and mortar campus for Northwest Early College. These are major projects. And of course, we're starting from zero. We've hired architects, we've hired builders. But before they start drawing designs, what we did is in a charrette, in a hands-on project, we brought in stakeholders, students, teachers, down to fine arts directors and athletic directors, PE teachers, special education teachers, all these people that are going to be using these buildings. And they were able to sit down and using a specific project, tell these architects what they want to see, what they need to see in these schools.
And what they don't want to see.
And what they don't want to see. It's important, from how students learn to study areas to outdoor study, gathering places to plazas to cafeterias, gyms, all these things that are going to be happening. And that way, when we build a school, we build a school that's not only functional, it's going to last a long time, and it's designed with the community in mind.
Yeah, I think it was very powerful having the stakeholders of that community come together and help the architects. They kept saying they're going to conceptual drawing.
Conceptual drawings.
It's going to help them conceptually draw the school.
Yeah.
Especially it's not the inside and how it looks, and a lot of CMS at the CMS right. They're like, we want it inviting.
Yeah.
We want it to we want. I think there was a techo.
Like an awning.
Yeah, an awning. And one of the teachers was saying, well, it's kind of like before you get to the school. I don't know what she used.
Because they saw a logo, and so like it's great because you walk up to it and it's a big awning where people can stand beneath it and gather
your thoughts before you walk into the building.
And there's that imagery that says like you are Canutillo Middle School, like all these things down to at AMS, for example. One of the teachers, Ms. Guerrero, said, because they were shown dozens of photos of what schools could look like. And she's like, I love that this is like a modern design that is incorporating the desert landscape, right? She's like, it's like the nature, but modern, pulling forward.
Yeah.
Things like that are going to help these architects design a school that's going to fit our community, and then they're looking at classroom designs, right? And we're all used to, most of us at least, to square boxes with rows and chalkboards or whatever in front. Well, students don't learn like that nowadays, right? They learn in small groups, they learn in group work and all this. So they're looking at ways to make sure they have furniture that's movable, easily movable, that connects into small groups. All these great things, even nooks, right?
Yeah, underneath the
stairs, outside, like little auditoriums to where teachers can have classes outside if they need.
And I think that's when you look at the early college, which was so with those students. I mean, this is just there's no bells. They just trust kids.
Yeah.
You just go, and you have ninth graders. And you don't. Like, there's a comment made, well, don't put a storage underneath the stairwell. It's like, well, why? If you need it, yeah, that's good. But don't think because kids have misbehaved under a stairwell that all kids are going to misbehave. Because then that's the culture, or what are you teaching kids? Like, because you got to be able, like you said, kids want to be able to go out there and go read a book or learn
and even libraries are a big thing right now. Like we're rethinking how libraries work, how students use libraries nowadays.
Kids don't.
Because it may not be, it may not be to where they go in and check out a book, but they have other resources there that are digital, or that that's something they're comfortable with.
Yeah, libraries should be open, like
right,
not closed.
Not this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so we have librarians that came and told us what they're looking for, how their collection should look like, what they should include.
But again, you also want to, like, for me, I don't think I could design a school.
No.
Just because I would design what I know, what I went through, would be the same thing. So I would want, the architects to push me what new schools are being designed, and people aren't afraid to let go of what they know and experience, because also that's going to create a different pedagogy, a different kind of teacher, because they were saying, we don't want you to be in the front of the room. The whole classroom is learning, so you can be in anywhere. So it's just not rows.
Yes.
Because I've been in, brand new buildings, and you get the teacher like Mr. Galaviz that taught back in the 90s and 2000, and they put them in rows, and I'm the teacher, listen to me.
Well, I know I was part of a bond redesign process in a previous school district that I worked at, and these classrooms were really active learning classrooms with innovative furniture, But a lot of these teachers reverted back to rows, right? Because that's what they know and that's what they're comfortable with. So I think part of our challenge, Doc, is going to have to be bringing in people to train these teachers how to use these facilities.
New
to their
spaces.
fullest, you
Yeah,
know?
you're really going to have to teach them, our professional developed teachers, like, hey, get out of that, because kids are bored. A lot of these
Yeah.
kids that walk in, and it's like that one teacher, that one mind, that one set of experiences teaching 20 to 30 kids. And it's like, people don't learn that.
Well, and you know, we've said this before, Doc. This sit and get system is going to work for a handful of students, right? Those students that are going to learn no matter what because they're excited to be in school, they want to learn. The challenge here is reaching out those students that that you say are bored, that don't want to sit still for an hour in a classroom. And while you saying like, well, you know, that's a challenge. That's the way we learned back then. Like, well, yeah, but was that effective? Because I'd say no. We gotta make sure we adapt to reach all kids. And if that kid learns better by sitting in a beanie bag,
And I think that's the angst I have with STAR and EOC, that Abbott and Morath
Yes.
push, because it's like you're nobody learns that way.
well, and
If you want to do literacy, challenge literacy.
and if they don't learn, like it's our responsibility to adapt. It's not theirs to adapt to our system. It's ours to adapt to the way they
See,
learn.
the way yeah, exactly. But you teach the same way, you allocate resources the same way with your books. You know, again, and I won't mention vouchers.
Yeah.
You know, like SHARs, they're cutting money with our SPED,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Governor Abbott is cutting money.
You know, they cut, Doc, we spoke to media about this yesterday. The state changed the rules for reimbursement in services that we provide to to special education students. Things like transportation, at-home services, therapy, tutoring. These are things that we got reimbursed for, and now because of new rules, we are going to be our funding for that is going to be slashed in half.
Yeah, that's
And again, we're
crazy.
talking during a time when not only do we have a surplus at the state level,
$5 billion.
we're also hit with with funding formulas that are 5 years old, do not take inflation into account, and because of that, we're at a deficit, and we're not the only one. The vast majority of school districts in Texas are at a deficit. It's not a Canutillo didn't plan correctly. It's we haven't been funded correctly.
That's why I was with TEA today, Tuesday, and they were showing the class of 23, like the CCMR data of the class of 2023. And I said, well, so they were a freshman 2019. Are you not forgetting that worldwide pandemic
Yeah.
that happened?
They have to go through.
So you're using the class of 23 like they didn't go through anything?
Yeah.
Like, teacher, we did not go through a worldwide pandemic during this time.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's almost like we've forgotten, right? What that the pandemic happened. Like it's been 4 years, but it might have well been like 100 years ago. It's the
Because they were
1916 flu or
freshmen
something.
in 2019.
Yes.
Right? Was that 18?
Yeah. No.
So
19,
2018? No, but 18,
18, 19.
18,
19,
19,
20.
and then 19, and then COVID hit
Yes.
March 2020? Yeah, because my daughter graduated in
March
2020.
yeah.
So, and then now you're the accountability system. You're really gonna hold us accountable during a pandemic that, what, we were out of school for 2 years,
It was cool. At least a year and a half.
year and a half.
Yeah.
And even then, you still
And the first half year was like, you know, hit or miss. Like we were just
virtual learning.
We were flying by the seam of our pants with
You're muted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So I know it's we have to adapt. We have to make sure that we provide these students with the services that they need. And getting these roadblocks is only hindering.
well, I think that's why it always goes back to the election, because again, not our board, some of our board members or elected officials, and you keep voting for these people that put those roadblocks in front of our kids, that want our kids to learn like them. Well, when I was, when my
Yeah.
kid, it was like, when I was your age, it's like, no, that's the scary
Yeah.
thing is that they're gonna go back, you
Well,
know.
I always harp back on this, Doc. I mean, I'm an English language learner. I came over to the U.S. speaking no English, and I was put into an immersion program to learn English, right? And when I tell people that, they tell me like, "Oh, see, it works. It works. Look, you speak English well. I make a living writing in English. I make, And so like, yes, it works for me. But there were 10 people in that classroom, and I was the only one at graduation 4 years later.
Oh,
So no, it doesn't work well. It worked well for me, but it didn't work well for the majority of those students.
Well, also your mom and dad.
Yes, my dad's a professor, and,
Yeah.
and I have the support, and they may not have, but that's what I'm saying. We need to make sure that we have systems that work for everyone, because the established system is going to work for that student that has the support, that has the background, that has the opportunity.
And I think that's what's scary when TEA goes across the state and talks to different regions.
Yeah.
They're trying to find a one size fits all, but it doesn't.
Well, we're not a one. We're all different sizes. Believe me, we're all different sizes, and we're all different shapes. We're all different colors. We're all different languages.
Learning, different,
And when we have a curriculum and an assessment that tests in one way of learning, it only empowers that population.
Oh,
for
the
which it was
dominant
designed.
culture.
Yes.
It keeps the dominant culture in charge, the power,
Yeah.
and then everybody else,
Try to keep up.
try to keep up or doesn't keep up.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I don't
Yeah.
know.
And again, that's the whole point of.
You know what we didn't say? Happy Halloween.
Well, we're recording on Halloween, and we're all dressed
Happy
as
Halloween.
disgruntled schoolboys.
Disgruntled trolls.
But yeah. So we'll leave that there. We're very happy with the charrette progress that we had with the groundbreaking, and you guys can expect to have a lot more engagement from the school district. This was just the beginning. We're gonna have tons of community events, tons of community meetings to
I think
update.
that also gives us. I'm going to give us kudos because we also have to count. When we brought on Presidio, we brought in a bond manager to handle the bond, and that's a very strong team with Ernesto leading it,
and Irene. there.
Irene.
And what this does, what having someone like Presidio be leading us there in that regard, is it gives us an opportunity to learn. We can teach kids, no problem. We're the highest performing school district in the region, but we're not builders.
Yeah.
We're not construction experts. We need help in that. In previous bonds, we try to be builders. We try to be construction experts, right? And it led to a lot of headaches for us, and led to a lot of mistrust in the community.
We don't have the personnel though,
right?
No,
And we just don't have that personnel or expertise.
Presidio has 5, 6.
Yeah. So we needed help, and this help is gonna make a huge difference. We're gonna show that we can manage this, that we can handle this, and that we're gonna deliver on these promises. And I'm confident that we are.
No, we are. We're on schedule. We're ahead.
We're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, because we're trying to beat inflation, and we don't need. And you don't know where this election is going to go as far as the presidential election.
And there's tons of bond money on the ballot this time around too for other entities. We know we're gonna have to compete with them, so we gotta get ahead of those.
Yeah, we got ahead. UMCs.
Yeah, UMCs, the county have had bond. And
Can I say how I voted on that one?
And
No.
let's not.
Let's know.
I'm gonna keep you out of trouble. So I'm very, very confident, very happy with the engagements we've had, with the response we've had from parents and students. So I think it's only gonna get better. I can't wait to have groundbreakings for the 4 major projects, but most importantly, to have ribbon cuttings for those.
Oh yeah,
When we let people come and see the brand new buildings.
it's gonna be great. But again, happy Halloween. Be safe.
Be safe out there. I have a bag ready to go.
Are you
on
giving
Enchanted Hills.
candy?
Yes, I'm giving out candy. Last
What-
year
what
I
kind?
got zero. I
You
got
zero.
I got zero kids. So this year I'm hoping that at least I get a handful. But it was a brand new subdivision. So
Is there more houses? I haven't been
yeah.
out there since we put bond stuff.
oh yeah, no, it's my whole block's full now. When I moved in a year ago, I think I was one of 4 or 5 people in the block.
Oh wow.
So,
Yeah, but your neighbor.
yeah, that's right. She was one of the
She's
charrettes.
a 1-year-old, right?
She's a 1-year-old, and I think one on the way. She said, so she's ready for Davenport to move into that.
All right,
community.
happy hour. Go to Gus's house.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll give you his address.
I'm sure someone wants to see it.
Watch his doggy though.
Burger.
Burger. Burger attacked me.
Yeah.
I'm a civil lawsuit.
He says he loves you.
Yeah. All right. See you guys next week.
All right, remember go vote. All right, love y'all.